I wanted to try this game out with you that I like,
Sure.
and if it turns out it's a flop, then we will only do it as a cold open for your episodes. Um, but so the thing I want to do is called Angel on My Shoulder. Okay. So essentially, what I want, those cartoons where you have an angel on your shoulder and a devil on your shoulder?
Oh, yeah.
And so I want to propose a scenario, and I want you to pick which one you want. You want to be the angel or the devil, and you to tell me, based off of that, what your advice would be.
Okay, I'm definitely the devil.
Okay. Well, hang on. Well, okay.
I'm
Well,
in the middle.
but we could, well, no. So for each question, you get to pick which one you want to be.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So I'm gonna do one that I've done recently. Okay.
Okay.
It's okay. So you're the angel or the devil on my shoulder, and I have been wearing jeans and shorts forever because that's just kind of like how I do. But I've decided that I'm going to go out in a skirt, and I'm like, is this the wrong thing to do? I don't know, like if people are going to judge me or if I'm going to get like hated on. So, what should you pick?
How long is that skirt?
Oh,
exactly.
Is it finger length?
Pretty long. It's pretty long.
Oh, this is not a hypothetical.
Yeah, I was like, oh, that's tame. What you mean?
Yeah, this is a long skirt.
Hey, the devil
ain't like this. Like,
oh, okay. Not that skirt.
I was like, nah, come on now. You're fine.
Okay, I'm gonna do the devil.
Okay.
The devil in me says, go big or go home. Don't wear such a long skirt. Go for a short one.
Oh. Okay, that wasn't what I generally. I was assuming the devil would be like, "Hey, everyone's going to hate you because you're wearing a long skirt and you have these giant shoulders, like a discount She-Hulk."
I have like giant biceps.
Yeah, I was like, Victoria took the like sucky route.
Yeah.
I'm good. I wear whatever the fuck I feel like wearing. Honestly.
How
It's true. I've seen it.
Have you been doing that like your entire transition?
I think I actually started even higher femme than I am now. I think I've like toned it down quite a bit. Like I was in Vegas this past week, and I mean, I think I bought a whole suitcase. I only wore a bikini the entire week. Through the casinos, just a bikini. The entire week.
All that shit was awesome.
Hey, girl, Pixar didn't have. Well, actually, no. I think I did see. But it looks fantastic. I'm just of that mentality of like I am still scared because I'm used to wearing jeans. I posted recently. I was like I'm wearing a dress and makeup, and usually I'm wearing jeans and mud, and so. But I wanted to get your like how you would tell what you would do is sitting on my shoulder and telling me how to think about this.
Oh, I see. Okay, so then if that's the case, then I'm gonna be the angel every time.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, absolutely. As opposed to like the demon, which is like.
I see. Like I'm definitely the person that's gonna tell you, to do what feels right. At the same time, you have to reach a certain comfort level. Like, what I've seen, you see a lot of, the early transition girls. They wear like a pencil skirt, 4-inch stilettos, like a over the top outfit, and then they go to Walmart to go get groceries. And like you kind of see that a little bit over. It's usually that comes from a lack of confidence. So they're right. So they're overcompensating with one thing because they don't feel it in the other way. Right. I found myself personally, as I've gotten more comfortable with myself, I'm jeans and a crop top 90% of the time. I actually don't have enough clothes that actually cover my stomach. I only own crop tops.
when you're rocking an 8-pack,
Yeah, there's that.
a little different.
I do love that. That's amazing.
So I think it has to do with your own comfort level. At the same time, you need to be able to wear what you feel is comfortable for you. I mean, I'm always of the mind of, wear what you want to wear, but know the environment that you're going into.
Well, but also like I mean, so and just to play devil's advocate, it's like I remember my first time ever going out in a. Maybe we should probably start the episode instead of doing it on the. But one of my first things is I remember it took me like I had to drink 3 or 4 beers, and like do 2 shots of vodka just to be able to go out in leggings because I was so scared of what people would think when I went running.
Yeah.
And but like the ability to break down those walls of like feeling comfortable. Like I went out today in this dress, the skirt. This is the first time I ever wore a skirt out, and it's like it was mostly just like it was I'm so sick of not being me because of what people expect me to be.
Okay, how long have you been transitioning, by the way, Danny?
So what?
How long have you been transitioning?
Almost 2 years now.
All right, cool. It took me over 1.5 years before I felt comfortable, like half the time not getting social anxiety, to go into a mall by myself. And what I realized is that when people were looking at me, they weren't clocking me. They thought I was fucking hot. That was the difference. And it was crazy. And that shift. And what was weird is it was a transitional phase to get through that.
Yeah,
and it was
you're
ridiculous.
totally right.
It was like, oh, all these eyes are on me, and they're really fucking not. And it's weird because you have to like look in the mirror, and eventually, it takes fucking forever. I'm not gonna tell you when that happens. Everybody's transition's different.
Yeah,
you're gonna be like, oh, damn, I'm beautiful, and it took me years. It took me years to fucking get there. I am over 3 years in my transition, and I was like, it took me over 2 years before I finally looked in the mirror with makeup, though, which is still progress because I didn't say it at all. And I was like, I'm beautiful. Holy shit! Like. Holy shit. To where now I'm like, when I walk in places, I'm turning heads, and I know why. I fucking know why. Like, and it's going to take a little bit to get there, and that could be happening for you as well. But all you need to do is if you're comfortable in an area, I start out with friends. So if you find some friends, just one makes such a huge fucking difference. It's just going out with someone or something that distracts your brain, distracts your mind from that, and helps you with that confidence, and then eventually you can just go off by yourself.
That's a really good point. Yeah. Actually, let's go ahead before we continue down that. Let's dive into the episode.
All right, everybody, welcome back to Girl Dad Girls. It's the Smexy podcast with even smexier guests. Today we have Victoria, aka Almost Instant Victoria.
Goodness.
Apparently her significant other, which we're going to get the tea on that coming up soon based on a certain trip that happened, a certain event happened. We'll get that later today. But we are joined by fellow hosts to that cutie, Danny B, and of course, your favorite, Bree.
Sure.
Those are your favorite. This is the favorite. This is the crowd favorite. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
We're not anymore. All right. Fulfilling her life and living her life as authentically as she can. Victoria, welcome to the podcast.
Oh, I'm so excited to be here.
Right, so Victoria, will you tell us tell us a bit about yourself?
Okay.
What makes Victoria?
Yeah, so I am 47 years old, almost 48 in like 3 or 4 days. I think I'm turning 48.
Wait, are you really?
Bullshit.
Good Lord. Jeez Louise.
I know.
HRT, I swear to God, they found the fountain of youth. They just don't want to let us know. They just don't want to let us know.
You're taking it. You just don't know.
Me and my girlfriend have a joke that her fountain of youth is somewhere on her body.
I need to get my passport.
Yeah, just a card. You don't read the whole thing.
I'm gonna get in so much trouble.
I just need.
So, Victoria, but have you noticed that, like, since transitioning, you've aged almost backwards, or like
It's crazy actually. Like it's. I mean, I've always had a very youthful spirit, so like I've always thought I was like 17. I feel like I've felt like that age my entire life. I'm like 17. Like my fiance, she calls me either.
congratulations?
There it is.
There
It already came out.
She says I'm either a
Soon.
100-year-old philosopher or a 12-year-old boy. I'm like one of the two.
You got 3 looks, and that's it.
I look like this, but I'm either a 12-year-old.
I have to ask immediately. Okay, so it was in your Vegas trip. How the hell did you lose the ring?
Oh, yeah.
Go on.
Okay, so we brought the ring, and it was in like a little baggie, and so I was gonna propose to her during her favorite DJ and this specific song. So
Okay.
I was in my fanny pack, but there was a million things in my fanny pack, and I didn't want to carry it. So I put the ring in my bikini bottoms. Like
How did I know that's what happened? How did I know?
between the lips, right? And then
You stuck that shit in your prison purse?
I forgot. So I forgot that I put it there because I was drunk.
Listen, another hole is more secure.
And then I went to the bathroom and I showed her the ring. And then when I got out of the bathroom, I think I
Wait. So you just pulled it out? Like you were just like, hey. Like, how did that go? I'm dying. Like my face is. This is already great. Like I'm sorry.
So I showed. We went into the toilet together, like the stall. We were in the stall together, and I pulled it out to show her. And then I put it back.
It was the ring, right? You pulled the ring out. I want to make sure. You said you pulled it out. I was like, wait a second. I was like,
the ring out.
The strap. All right, go on.
And then I put it back. And then I went pee, I think. I don't remember.
At this point, you're drunk, right? You said you were day drinking? Okay.
Yeah, we were fucked. So then we go back out, and maybe 10 or 15 minutes passes, and then I want to go get a drink. So I go to the bar to get a drink. And then her favorite song comes on during the time that I'm ordering the drink. And I'm like, freaking out. And so I run back to the booth that we're in. And then we start dancing to her favorite song. It's like this song from this DJ called Griffin. And everything's going well. And then I'm like, okay, I got to get the ring ready because I'm going to propose at the end of the song.
So just in public, you're like,
cute.
So I down the front, and it's not there. And I'm like,
I just looked at your body when you're to this song.
So, and the song is still going on. And then now I'm freaking out. So I run to my fanny pack. I open the fanny pack. I'm taking the whole thing apart.
Oh my God.
And then I'm like, no, it's not there. So then I put my hand back down into my crotch, and I put my fingers inside.
It was like you just spit out like a micro vibrator. You're like, oh, I've seen enough.
So the ring is now gone. I run to the washroom, to the stall and the song is still on. I run to the washroom by myself. I look everywhere for the ring. It's gone. And the ring is gone.
No.
Did you ever find it? Hang on, I have to know. Oh!
No, of course not.
So I run back, and then I'm like, well, I'm just going to go with it because I'm proposing right now without a ring. And so I go down this thing, and I start talking to her, telling her how much I love her and all that stuff. And then I ask her to marry me, I guess. And she's like, yes. And then we hug, and then I take a fake ring. I pretend like I'm holding a ring, and I put it on her ring finger. and then we hug and kiss, and that's it. So,
Oh,
I'm so
so that was
sorry.
the story.
never
Oh,
found it.
Victoria,
No.
you like you tried so hard. That's I mean, like
It is what it is.
Yeah, they should have played Linkin Park next.
It was like,
oh,
honestly, it was like the most Victoria thing that could have ever happened. Like it was,
Yeah, I
if there
know.
was ever a thing that I would lose my ring, her ring in my vagina before her DJ performance in Vegas. Like if there was
It's
ever
like
a thing,
That was
that's
amazing.
exactly what I
hey,
was thinking when I was reading
I
that post. I was like, she hid that
actually,
There's a
shit in her snatch.
yeah,
There's a Reddit that's like new sentences or whatever. Never heard sentence. That needs to go there. That
yeah,
is like
yeah, like that sounds like sadly that sounds like what I call Dannyisms, and it's like oh Dannyism just happened
oh
where it's just
god.
like well everything was going right, but then one thing just derailed the entire thing.
I mean, I
But
have ADHD and I'm not medicated, and I'm neurodivergent and I'm not medicated, and so
Oh no,
I
no.
mean, I have lots of mental health things, but I think I'm the good kind of crazy. Like, I think there's two kinds of
yeah,
crazy. There's good crazy and bad crazy. I'm good crazy.
100%. I mean,
Absolutely.
there is like, yeah, no, I think there's drains into the radiators, and like it's like if you're a radiator, you radiate energy, no matter whether it's
Same.
crazy
Yeah.
energy or not. But
Yeah.
I mean, that's why Zach, Bree, and I are here because we radiate crazy energy, and
Good. I love that.
we're all a bunch of freaking nut jobs.
That is
Um,
hell of a start to an episode, though. To be fair, oh my god, that's such a good story.
um,
I was like, I need to know. I was like, I saw this recently. I was like, I want the tea. Oh my god,
um,
not testosterone.
But yeah, so well, cool. So Victoria, now that we know as much about you, and actually we those who are watching who weren't part of the didn't watch the opening credits, um, uh, will not know a lot more about Victoria. But tell us about yourself. Like how long you've been
Okay.
what brought this on?
Okay,
Was
perfect. I'll
there
tell
a
you. Yeah, sure.
time?
So I was 8 years old, and that whole story. I thought I was a cross dresser. Before I even hit puberty, I was already into my mom's closet, and like I already had that energy. My dad was a very homophobic, sexist, racist, awesome
You
type of
have the same
guy.
dad? Oh my god, it's crazy.
Yeah, and anyways, so I I until I was 42, I never knew. I thought I always rounded myself down to like a crossdresser or
Really?
this or that or something that I could manage myself. Because I had a very successful life. I was married to a beautiful woman. I was a guy with a six pack with a nice house and a pool and two kids. And I was living what they call the successful life, except I was fucking miserable.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
hated. And so every time, I spent my life working out and working. I was either working out at the gym, working out at work, working at home with the kids, working with to be a husband or a this or that, to be a son, all these things I was working at doing. So I was working 24 hours a day. And then I was like, and I had gotten to a place. I remember I took a picture of myself. I was in a tanning salon. I was 42 years old, and I had a six pack, but I had veins in my stomach. I was so shredded. I had so much muscle on me. I looked the best I could possibly look as what for myself. Like I'd reached my maximum potential as a man, whatever. And I realized at that moment I was chasing that perfect spot. And I got there, and then I realized I was never ever as unhappy as I was in that moment.
Yep.
Yeah.
There you go.
Well, one of the things I always say is like I used to work out because I hated the person in the mirror, and so I'd work out harder because I wanted to like that person. So I'd work
That's
out
right.
harder and harder and harder, and I end up with these freaking arms and then I
Wait,
realized like oh
arms of all things?
well arms and shoulders. arms and
Oh,
shoulders.
wait. Okay, so you did. Okay, so you overworked out to compensate. Okay, because that was like for me, I was like, oh, I wanted to look more feminine, so I did ab workouts.
Yeah, I told myself if I was more masculine, maybe I'd like the masculine.
Oh,
Yeah,
And
I
so
did
I
the same
kept
thing.
working out, and I wanted to be. I was like, I'd work out harder and harder and harder because it was like I was like, I'm not. I don't like the person in the mirror, and so I'd work out harder. And then I realized after a while, I was like, wow, I like it. It wasn't how much I worked out; it was the fact that like every time I looked in the mirror, I hated myself more.
Same.
and it was like this self-deprecating like just carousel of just of hatred. And I the more I worked out, the more I hated myself. And but yeah, like I mean the cool thing is once you realize that you're doing it, you can stop it, and you can basically be like, okay, this is why I'm doing this. And I guess the good thing is muscle atrophy is better than you build it. So I can basically be like, yeah, cool. I do look like default She-Hulk right now. But hopefully it will atrophy soon. So I just don't I don't know. Did you ever like were you ever like super worried about your body type?
Um, it's so funny. I've dealt with this issue for such a long time. I'm 6'2". I'm about 185 pounds. I can still shoulder press like a person. Like I'm a pretty big person. And I'm pretty strong.
Wait,
And
wait, hang on. So when you proposed, she said yes, right?
yeah,
Damn it!
yeah, she got the video. The video, she's
Yeah.
sitting there nodding, and then they kissed each other. It was hot.
Damn it! All right, well,
Great.
crumbs. Anyways,
so that
sorry, keep
physical
talking
that
about things I can't have.
so the physical part, like I've worked out my entire life, right? And it's so funny. We were in the gym this morning, and she's like, you're looking a lot like a muscle mommy, and I'm like, I kind of like that.
Do you
I
ever
kind
do
of like
cosplay?
that.
Do you ever do
Sorry?
cosplay by chance? Cosplay.
Actually, I did Wonder Woman a couple of years ago, and I went to Toronto Comic Con. It was one of the most fun experiences of my life because I wore like 4-inch stilettos, so I was about 6'6". With these,
Oh my god.
like with
I
the
can go
muscle, like
find
I was like 6'6" with like the muscles and stuff, right? And so I was very
Very massive.
popular there that day, and so I mean I like it, but I think I think the realization that my muscles don't make me masculine, my muscles make me muscular.
Just you. Yeah, it just makes you you. That's it.
That's right.
We assign
So
your masculine
stepping
and feminine
away,
traits.
you're associating a masculine trait to something that is not necessarily masculine. It's like
Exactly.
I drive very fast. Is that a masculine trait, or is that something that we've declared as being a masculine trait? It doesn't.
That
It's
just
not a
means
masculine.
driver.
Right. So stepping away and seeing what is masculine and what is feminine and what is all of that stuff, it doesn't matter. It's all created anyways. It's all artificial anyways. None of that stuff matters. My girlfriend, who is a beautiful woman, she goes into any room, every single woman stares at her. It's funny, she has more masculine energy than I do. She does.
What,
She's the pit bull. She's the pit bull. Yeah, she's a cis woman, but she is. If someone says something rude to me, she's the one who's gonna go. She's the one who's gonna go make a scene out of it. I literally am like the least violent person. I have I'm like a total pacifist.
Well, and one of the things that I realized recently is like I would, and this doesn't, I hate to call her out for this because like nobody wants to be called out for this, But I was listening to an interview with Brittany Griner, the NBA WNBA player who was falsely detained in Russia, and
Mm-hmm.
and her voice is very she has a very deep voice. And I remember
Mm-hmm.
listening to it, and I was I turned on the interview very late in the interview, and I was like, "Who are they?" I I will attest, and I this is a terrible thing to say, but I will attest. I was like, "Who is this guy they're talking to?"
Mm-hmm.
And then they were like Brittany Griner, and I was like, "Oh wow, Brittany Griner's she's fantastic. She's a super she's awesome." But at the time I was just like, "Oh wow, this is I mean she's a cis woman,
Yeah.
but has just a voice that it didn't at the time, it didn't register."
Yeah.
But
I
yeah,
love the whole.
I mean, voice is always very hard. Um,
It is.
so so we're about to be joined by by my intern um, here. But yeah, so oh yeah, here we go.
Sleeping
So
on the job in there.
yeah, honestly, if her mom wants to get mad, then she can get mad. Nobody's chasing me down for this kind of stuff. So Victoria, what would you say is your biggest like what was the biggest surprise when you started transitioning? What weren't you expecting that was a happy surprise?
Oh my God. I would say, I remember when I first, my very first meeting with the doctor that I actually told, the very first person I actually ever told I was trans was this doctor. And I remember the second time I met him, and I was like, all I want to do is one day walk down the street as myself. That's it. My line of success was to be able to be myself just for one day. And I got to that state, and then there was a new bar. And every single time I was like, well, this is the thing that's going to make me happy. And I kept hitting these bars of success. And I was getting to a place where I was like, I'm not just looking for bars of success. I am just living my life as myself. And so I think what we consider to be a line of success or that place where we will be happy is literally realizing that it is the journey of the happiness. It is not the destination. There is no line of happiness. There's not I'm transitioning, I've transitioned, now I'm going to be happy. That if you're looking for the end of the rainbow where you look like a supermodel and that's where you'll be happy, even if you look like a supermodel, that's not going to be the thing that makes you happy. It's not. It's going to be
Antidepressant.
I think it was just the realizing. Yeah, it was realizing for me that transitioning was solving one of my problems, the biggest one. But then it was all the other things of just being myself and living my life as myself. That was the determinant of success. So getting to be me and succeeding and failing is the success story.
Yeah, a phrase I always say is make your own happiness. And so that is only defined by you on how you react, on how you respond to things, on how you grow and develop. You have to make your own happiness. If some plans go wrong or it doesn't hit the goal that you needed, why don't you just have a plan B, or why can't you just improv along the way? You get to determine if plan A, that ruins your entire day, or if you try to go through plan B through Z. It's entirely up to you to a certain degree. Some things are out of your control, I will say. I know.
Definitely.
But I was like, I absolutely agree with that. And so it's along the way, it's of course you have little goals and things, but happiness is just continuing to find out about, you are the only person that spends 100% of time with yourself.
Yeah.
And you spend your entire life figuring out who you are still. So just be happy on the journey along the way. It's insane.
Definitely.
But that's the only thing that you can do. It's just try.
We are very. I feel like we are very lucky. People who like us, people who have done the introspection, we have looked in on ourselves, we have seen who we are, and we are brave enough to step into who we are. So many people, the reason trans people, queer people get so much hate is because the people who know who they are but aren't brave enough to step into who they are the ones who fight the hardest against us. Right?
Yeah. Or they're just Alex Jones, and they're just fucking all gay proud.
Yeah, exactly. So I just I feel I'm very privileged in my life. I mean, some of the stuff I had nothing to do with. I was born in Canada. That happens to be a very lucky place to be born.
That's why I always loved. All right, I always thought it was funny for like nationalists and stuff. I was like, you just happen to be born where you're at. It doesn't make sense why you are so fucking like riding your country's dick. I'm sorry, it just is like, you could just move, dog. Like
exactly.
Play for the other team. I already know. Like. Come on.
Yeah, I'm so lucky because I got my bottom surgery for free. But I always think to myself, if I was born in a country where bottom surgery in Canada is free.
God damn it. Trudeau, you awesome son of a bitch. God damn you.
Yeah.
Listen, I'd have fun times with
that. Oh. Sorry. We've had bathroom emergency after bathroom emergency, so I apologize, y'all, for
no worries.
Okay. Just kid stuff.
But it's kind of one of the things that I guess this podcast has never really like shown is how much it sucks when things go wrong. Things go very wrong.
It's going great. It's the conversation that makes it, right?
Yeah. Well, so what? Like, how did you decide that you wanted to do bottom surgery, and like how long did that take you to like
my very first meeting with my doctor? The very first meeting with my doctor, I'm like, 100%. This is something that I want.
You walked in, you're like, hey, I'm introverted, and he was like, oh, but you're talking to me right now, and you're like, no, I want it
Yeah, exactly.
Inverted. Sorry. It's like, okay.
Turn your Audi into an innie. That's usually how I.
Exactly.
Yeah, it blows my mind when so many people, they're like, oh, you're going to get cut off. I'm like, that's not how it works. Have you,
that's not how it works.
You know Google is free, right? Google is free.
It is.
Exactly.
Right. Like, I just love how many people speak on this shit. Like, they know, and then they haven't even done the basic minimum research on this
shit.
Right. The basic minimum. I'm like, how are you going to have an opinion on this shit?
Yeah. And actually, that kind of leads into kind of the questions that I like to ask about, like, when people transition, especially people who are so successful with their transition, because you're killing it. So, like,
thank you. I don't think I am, but I mean, thank you.
Well,
I've been following you for years.
I feel like a lot of people start transitioning and you hit the roadblocks, and you see these people like yourself and the other really successful people, and they assume that, like, oh, it must have been so easy for you to do it. Like, no. Were there times where you were just like were there points where you're like, this is not for me? And how did you overcome that? Like,
I got the DM. I know the answer to this. I got the DMs from 2 years ago when we were talking, and so I messaged her today, and I followed up with her, and I went, "It looks like you found your happiness."
So, there is always going to be hard times, and it's never going to be easy. Like, honestly, if there's an easy moment, you kind of relish in it, and it's just a bunch of challenges. And I mean, I look like I'm so happy and I'm so perfect. I mean, I've got so much good stuff in my life, but I also am constantly dealing with shit as well. You know what I mean? Like, we're all constantly, if it's not a job, it's the kids. If it's not the kids, it's the family. If it's not the family, it's your health. If it's, you know what I mean? They're always kind of putting out fires. You're always managing positives and negatives. It's, like I'm at the gym every day, but, for example, I had like a foot injury and then I have like a tennis elbow in my left arm. And you know what I mean? Like I'm still going to the gym. I'm still persevering through that pain. I'm not letting it derail me. I'm working around those things. Like, for example, something happens with my family. I have to put the brakes on something else so that I can deal with that. If I feel that, my relationship needs my attention, I'm going to put my energy there. We don't have 400 hours in a day to deal with everything. We only have 24, right? So we all are constantly dealing with positives and negatives. I feel, for me personally, I always had a goal of what I wanted to achieve. I wanted to be myself. That was it. I didn't want to be a model. I didn't want to be a this. I didn't want to be a that. I just wanted to be me. Nothing else. And so I have spent my entire life being introspective, listening to myself, following my truth, because the only person who knows my truth is me. And so all I've ever done is followed my heart, my soul, and that is the only thing that has ever led me forward.
I love when people comment on people's shit and they go and they act like just a random person you've never talked to before, and they tell you who you are. You're like, damn, I didn't know you followed me for my 40-something plus year journey, dog. Welcome. You know me better than me.
That's right.
One of the things and I'd love to get your opinion on this, but like one of the things that I always kind of like, I was worried about when I first started transitioning is I was like, am I going to be like, I came out in 2017. I went back and I started hormones, and about a month and I went back in the closet, and I was convinced I was too old, too tall, too muscular, no one was ever going to love me. And I told myself, I was like, I'm an okay looking guy. I don't want to be an ugly looking girl. But one of the things I realized is no one, and one of the things I will always say and I will always attest to is no one is less attractive than they were after they transition. Like you always, because of that happiness and that energy that exudes from you, like you will always be you may be a stunningly, like you may picture really well, but you exude negative energy because you're not you.
Yeah,
and so
you're totally right.
You transition, you're you, and you will always be more attractive. At least as attractive, if not more attractive, when you transition. And
I'm attractive, Mom.
Well, like one of the things I always made fun of my ex for was like she was always like, "You're gonna be an ugly girl," and then I started transitioning, and I was just like, "Look how happy I am." I mean, I may not be like the pinnacle of like the piece de resistance for femininity, but like I'm happy, and I just and she was like, you like exude positivity, and it's like
yes.
I will always say like
that's right.
Like is like the you may not look the same, but you'll look better. You will always look better.
For sure.
Because
100%.
You will look in the mirror and you'll see the person you're supposed to be. And if you
5
like
pictures
yourself,
on my phone, 5 to my name prior to transitioning, and all of them were me like, fuck, I had a fish pic. Like, Jesus Christ. That's the worst shit. All right, we're going to get from insight to men. Insight to men, please. I don't care if you're conservative. I don't care if you're, like, just don't post fish pics. It's fucking disgusting. You're getting swiped left. You're getting swiped left so fast. It's almost as bad as your mouse picture that you send after, if I match with you, that you're sitting there with your mouse like this. Like, it's so bad. You're calling yourself out. PSA. Just PSA. Jesus.
Oh no, that's not your card. That's not your. Oh, she's opening birthday present there, not her.
Capitalism.
Cool. Well, so Victoria, we've taken a lot of your time, but like we do have, and thank you again so much for
No,
for
you go.
just
It's,
being
it's
on,
totally fine. I'm good.
yeah.
I'm chilling in my
I'm
car.
happy.
Cool. We do have some like fun questions that we like to ask.
Sure.
One of my favorite ones, and maybe you've seen this if you've watched any episode. If you're one of the 3 people who actually watches this show.
Shut up.
But so we like to ask some fun questions. But my favorite question to ask is, what's your transition theme song?
Oh, that's a good question. Maybe I have no idea. Eye of the Tiger. I have no idea. No clue.
That's a good one, though.
Is there a song that was there ever a song that you listened to when you were when you were down and you were like, this is my pick me up song, or like,
oh, Fuel from Metallica, maybe.
okay,
Perfect.
I don't know idea.
yeah.
I also have a question, which is, you reveal. So I've noticed this, and I've done it, and of course we have times where we don't, right? But your captions often provide such insight into your life journey. And they're quite the read for those who actually spend the time to do so.
Yeah, I think like 3 people do that too. You're one of the 3.
Yeah, I was like, you explain so much of the ups and downs, and I think that's very important online. What made it, and so I guess it's not really a question. It's just a matter of, you really do live your life authentically as you, and you do show all these parts of you online.
Yeah.
And you share it, and I hope you realize how much of inspiration, not only to others, but to me, that you've been, because of how long.
That's really nice of you.
I'm not just looking at those pictures, those captions. If you all please follow Victoria here. If you all do, read through her descriptions. They are huge insights. They are not just positives. They are downs. They are everything in between. It is what I've noticed is when you said ADHD, I went, yes. Because it looks like ramblings, but they're so important because it gives you such genuine insight to who you are as a person and your life journey. And so I just wanted to ask, like, what made you, I think early on, I don't know if you did it as much where you had those giant long ones, like sometimes it gets with me, and you started doing that. What made you want to do that more?
I think it was realizing that my vulnerability was a strength of mine. That was something that I found myself to be. I found it so cathartic to help other people. The suffering that I went through, if I could help anybody avoid some of my pain, then it was worth it, you know?
Yeah,
like it was.
Well, you did it.
Yeah, I mean, like, and like, I mean, that's kind of one of the things I wanted to highlight with is we all seem like we are at this, like, you know, we're on the trail of A to Z. We're all at, like, you know, R or T or whatever, wherever we are. But like, and everybody like doesn't understand. Like, yes, there is a whole series of steps that has to happen, and like, I feel like they, like, for me especially, like when I used to like see people on transition sites, I was you know, Reddit and everything. I was like, oh, it's just, I'm going to walk into a closet, I'm going to walk out, and I'm going to be like them, hopefully. Yeah. But like, it doesn't happen that way, and I feel like,
no.
I mean, even for like I mean, the gorgeous people like y'all, like, it's you know, it's trials and tribulations. And
so let me tell you a very important story for me. I was 42 years old. I had scoured the entire internet for trans stories.
I was like, that's a lot of porn. Okay, I'm glad you took it a different direction. Oh my god. I was that's dangerous.
There was, you know,
you name it.
There was 17-year-olds that were beautiful. There was 22-year-olds that transitioned when they were 12 and they were beautiful. There was all of these stories of younger girls who transitioned and were gorgeous and this and that. And I was sitting here, 42 years old, 180 pounds of muscle, a six-pack, 6'2", balding, married, Christian, 2 kids, conservative parents. My ex-wife's parents were elders at the church.
Are you me in the future?
I didn't
are you like,
have.
if
So
if like you,
one sec. So
yeah.
I scoured the internet, and then I found 2 people who were about my age, and they were the beacons that gave me the smallest ounce of hope that I would have a successful transition. I just needed one person that would give me a sliver of hope that I could do this and have 1/10 of their success, but I could have happiness in that. And I found 2 people, and
That's
I don't want to get
beautiful.
emotional, but like,
No, that's wonderful.
that moment, those 2 people, Michaela, it was Maiden, Ariana, and there was one more person I can't remember off the top of my head, but Samantha of the Desert, and their stories were the beacon that I held onto. And so when I transitioned, I was like, she's just a pretty woman. That's all I see. That's all I know. I can see her. I can feel her. Her story is going to be the beacon that I am going to look at. And then so when I started transitioning and I started having that success and I had people looking at me and saying that to me, I was like, I'm going to be their beacon.
Yeah, that's such good insight. Is don't judge yourself based off of what the young people are doing. Find somebody who is close to where you are.
Yeah.
I mean,
I needed to be the beacon for somebody else. I needed to save somebody else's life because they saved mine.
Yeah, no, I mean, I can't imagine how many people how many people are going to see this and just see that, how amazing you're doing, and just be like, that could be me, and yeah,
It could be.
everybody watching, yes, it's going to take time, and it's not immediate, but yeah, Victoria is the you're doing it, and you are doing it.
It doesn't come for free. It doesn't come for free. It comes with a lot of work. It comes with a lot of work. It comes with a lot. It comes with a lot, but it is always worth it. It is always worth it to be yourself.
Yeah,
I would rather die and fail as myself than succeed and thrive as somebody else.
Fuck, well said. Damn.
Hey.
Simple.
And what I realized is you mentioned essentially SMART goals for those people who don't know what they are and stuff. I was like, you're probably familiar with SMART goals. And I was like, that's what it is. Realistic is the R. Like, you have to have those realistic goals. And you're not 22. You're not 20. So trying to put yourself in that box is not realistic and is not going to help your happiness at all, period.
Right. It's not going to. It's gonna ruin you. I'm sorry, I can't go through puberty as a 12-year-old.
Well,
I don't get to go through junior school as an adolescent doing it again. I don't get to do that. Sorry.
I don't get to. I mean, I'm 5'11" right now, and I don't get to be 5'6". It's just not gonna happen. And
I'm going to tell you that I hated my height when I first started transitioning, and now I walk into a room and everyone's eyes are on me.
Hell yeah. I always say one of my favorite things to do is I walk in and I just recently I was in this club, and I felt like I was like the chaperone at a middle school dance, but I was just like, you know what, I'm the hot chaperone at the middle school dance. So
there you go.
But that's I love that. There's so many good life lessons in this, and you have, I mean, you're so young, but yet you've given such a good mental image to the community, and I love this. Like this is why we do this podcast, so people
Yeah,
like you
this
can
is why I do it
show.
online. This is the only reason I have an online presence.
I love it. How do people find you? Like if people who are watching this who all I will always joke, all two of them, who want to find you on the internet, how do people find you? Like, what are your handles? What are your website?
That's so funny. I think we have a new page, Madison and I. It's called Fit Femme Philosophy. It's on Instagram, and we're starting to grow that. We're obviously we're doing an OnlyFans as well. I think it's called DS Squared, which stands for Dom Sub Squared, and also what was it? Different Same Squared.
Ooh.
So I'm obviously the top. I'm gonna tell you that for free.
Jesus Christ.
So I did some dominatrix work. So I've done some dominatrix work, and I've done some lessons. I'm actually currently developing a dom course on how to properly administer the pain and properly do like BDSM and dom work. So we're in the process of actually creating a course on doing dominatrix work, where I'm going to be leading a course online on actually doing dom work.
Holy shit.
I didn't know I needed to wear my thigh-high boots and my faux leather today, but here we are. I'm so sorry, I did not.
Yeah, I've got a suitcase full of let's call them toys.
Instruments. Because they make some pleasant music once in your life.
So yeah, I did 4 dom presentations at a sex club where I actually did live demonstrations on a victim, a willing participant, and that person got spanked and flogged and paddled and electricity kid and all the other stuff. So yeah, so we're working on that.
We don't even have to do after hours. This is.
So life is pretty good. I'm not gonna complain. Maybe we should turn this light on. Maybe that's not. Is that good? I don't know. Whatever. Yeah. It's getting dark here, so.
Yeah.
Well,
is that better? I don't know. Anyways,
I love it. I think this is exactly why we do this. This is but also if you ever need a nap, get your girl up. I'm notoriously good at building apps that nobody uses. Well, yours people would actually probably use, unlike the other ones I built. Anyways, sorry, I'm getting kicked. So Bree, do you want to jump into your question, and then maybe we can close it out and then jump in, maybe do a quick after hours, or?
My question's actually dumb. I'm not going to do it anymore.
No, come on, yours is fun.
Okay,
come
fine.
On,
you will be the last one. How about that? Okay. So now that you've come and done this shit show, like the ALS Ice Bucket Challenge, who would you call out to come on after?
To do an interview?
Yeah.
Yeah, call. Oh. Yeah, you got to call one of your friends out that needs to come on and let us. I have a wonderful person, but we have to get her back onto Instagram because she actually just went off of it. Alexandra, she was the doctor that lives in Boston. She is one of the smartest people I know.
All right.
Well, she doesn't have to have an Instagram. It just has to be willing to come on and put up with this.
She might do it. Yeah, she is one of the smartest people, and she is actually very similar to me in the way that we see our lives. For example, I feel like I have transitioned. I don't feel like I'm transitioning anymore. I'm kind of done. There's nothing, I don't have to do any more surgeries. I'm kind of living my life fully 100% as myself. We're always on a journey of introspection and change and all this other stuff. But in reality, I'm kind of just me. I don't have to really think about it anymore. Like, I'm 5 years in, and at 5 years, I probably for the last few months, I am so comfortable in my own skin. I am so confident in who I am. I am so content in where I am. And that doesn't mean that my life is perfect, but it means that I am just myself living my life. And that is literally the goal of transitioning. For me, I think everyone should be of this mind of like, yeah, I did it. I transitioned. I'm done. Now I'm living my life. That's it. It's not like I'm going to be forever in this mode of transitioning. Eventually you're like, yeah, that was a time in the past. Like, I used to be a teenager. I used to be an adolescent. I used to be a baby. I'm no longer those things. Now I'm just me as myself, and you get to live your life as yourself. You don't look back and go like, I used to wear diapers, so therefore I'm still wearing diapers. No, obviously you don't. At some point you're like, I don't do that anymore, unless you're into that, but whatever.
Listen, ABDL is. I was like, don't go to
exactly. Like, if that's your thing, that's your thing. But you know what I mean? Like, at some point in your transition, you stop transitioning and you just start living your life.
Yeah.
And it's not a black and white moment. It's a moment that you just kind of like are like, okay, I'm happy with who I am. I don't need to think about this bullshit anymore. I'm just going to be myself.
Yeah.
I love it. Like, honestly, that's one of the questions that we always ask people is is transitioning is a lifelong thing, or is it something that like there is a defined finish line? And
it's defined by you. Like, that's what it is. You get to decide.
Yeah.
And only for yourself. Don't apply your same rules to other people.
You get to decide for yourself. You get to decide for yourself when you are done, if you are done, if you ever are done.
Yeah.
That's literally it. So, in the end, all you got to do is be happy. All you have to do is make yourself happy. And if you making yourself happy is making other people happy as well, yay. But that is kind of the goal. Make yourself happy, make everyone else around you happy. Make the people that you love happy.
Serious by conservatives, though, so
Victoria, this has been really freaking awesome. Like, I apologize for like the sort of.
It's been wonderful. I loved it.
Well, and sorry about the kind of the impromptu-ness of.
It's been great. I wish I was home because I wanted Madison to come on for a little bit, but she's waiting for me in Guelph.
We'll do a follow up where my intern is in the other room, and maybe getting me a coffee, which she has not done.
That'd be nice.
Like is there anything like actually Zach's free? Y'all want to jump into final thoughts, and then we can end this and maybe jump into after hours, or we can figure it out. If you want to.
Yeah. Final thoughts for me would be I'm so happy just being able to have you on here for reaction. I didn't realize that we had only been really communicating in the past couple of years via comment section to each other. And it had been 2 years prior to DMs, and so I'm just so happy I got the chance to actually talk to you.
Me too. I was actually very happy to meet all three of you.
So many similarities to where I'm like, just thank you for doing this. It's been wonderful.
I was very happy to do it as well. You know what I always like? I always like meeting people with good energy. So I'm like good with all three of we're good energy people. Good energy follows good energy.
I love it. Yeah. Victoria, you're like one of my OGs. Literally, like I think you're in like one of the first 5 people that I ever followed on the gram. Maybe.
Oh, that's so sweet. Thank you.
Actually, 2 of them are in this room right now. So anyway.
Oh yay.
Woody, let's go!
Yeah, bitch.
My intern. You followed my intern.
Sorry, Danny, it wasn't you.
Okay, I get it. Damn it.
I love when your shit pops up in my feed because I get to like kind of live a percentage of my life through you for a minute. So
that's really nice of you.
I gotta go to Vegas with her. Those parties look
wild. I know. I want to wake up past on the couch with fancy robe.
Because I'm in the
We
local
got-
pink scene too. So I'm like,
we got like treated very well by very, very wealthy men who just wanted us to be in their booths, like $100,000 worth of stuff. Like literally, they were just like, it was stupid. We were
Awesome.
we were
I need to
partying in a
find me
room
another
that
sugar
was-
daddy.
Yeah, we were partying in a room that was $20,000 a night. It was crazy.
That's awesome.
It was crazy.
I found my next goal. Let's go. Transition goal. No.
That's awesome. No, so like Victoria, I'm not like an Instagram like aficionado. So I basically just started following people like once Brie leaves the chat apparently. So I really have not had this acclamation to the community, but like you're seeing your stuff online, and after like we realized that like you were going to be on the podcast, I started following you, and I really love the energy that you put out.
Thanks.
It's like it's really I guess relieving is one of the words, but like it's rejuvenating.
Thank you.
And there's a lot of negativity out there, and I feel like you are one of the people that really counters that with your just your goodness and just your general like holistic positivity. So I love
That's
how
really
you're
nice.
like you make me feel better about like being a tough girl. Like I'm just like, okay,
Be a tough girl.
Like this girl could kick my butt, and she's also hotter than me. I'm like, damn it.
Be a tough girl.
Like,
Be a tough girl. Be a strong girl. You know, it's so funny.
Yeah.
Be the person when you walk into the room that every single person notices. That is power.
Hell yeah. No, I mean like
that is not something to be afraid of. That is power that 99% of people will never have.
Well, and that's the thing is like cis girls you always tell cis girls like, oh, I wish I had your. I've told several cis girls in the last like little bit that like I wish I could have their body your body type. So, like I wish I could have yours. I'm like, really? You want like discount shelf She-Hulk? All right, I'll take it. Okay, cool.
Yeah, exactly. Own it.
Yeah. So I love that you were like I was saying is you're crushing it, and
thank you.
Like just it's so great to hear, and but also that you're not like you're humble about it too, which is not like but it's not like something that came that you were given. It's like you earned it, and yeah, like
we all earned it. We all earned it. We all earned it. We all earned it.
When you mentioned the next person in the interview, you didn't mention Hannah, because I have wanted to talk to her too.
Oh, Hannah for sure, of course.
Oh my god, I've wanted to actually talk to her more for the longest time.
I hate that girl. No, I'm just joking. She's my best friend.
She's your best friend. I was like, I know. I was like, bullshit. Doubt. She's your bestie. Nah.
She's my bestie. I love her. She is the quintessentially the nicest, best person that I know. Like easily.
I was like, hey, that's gonna be mine. I was like, oh yeah, there we go. I'll do that too. So now we got two people. I was like, Hannah.
Yeah, no, those. I'll send you the other one. I'll send you. Obviously, you know Hannah. Hannah's fucking perfect.
Yes. I was like, yeah, I know Hannah.
And so I'm very, very privileged to be on the show, and I think that a humble spirit is the thing that actually gives us the power to actually like really lift other people up, you know, and that's the in the end, that's the greatest achievement of all of us is how we lighten up the people around us. Yeah. How we brighten other people, how we lift other people up. That is true power. That is how. It's not how big you are. It's how much you can, how many people around you that you can empower, and how many people around you can make feel better about themselves and that they can succeed. even if just a small piece of that was because you helped them or that you lived your life authentically and that gave them the inspiration to live their life authentically. That is like, that is true power.
I'm lifting all these people up. Nice.
And if we all do it, it's so easy.
Nailed it.
You know?
Well, yeah, it's the thing I've always heard is follow those who seek the truth and deny those who found it. So if anybody tells you this is the way to do it, be like, mm-mm. There's like if somebody says this is what worked for me, cool, I'll listen to you.
Yeah, that's right.
And I guess also in that regard, also it's more about like the point, less about the goals and more about the assists. So
yes,
to put it into a hockey term.
That's right.
Anyways, let's go Edmonton Oilers. Anyways, well, cool. Well, so I guess we can go ahead. And I'm getting pillows thrown at me left and right. So, but anyways, so Victoria, thank you so much for coming on. You're like,
thank you so much.
Like just as I always say to people like you are a light in a dark place and a lighthouse on stormy waters. So
thank you so much. I really appreciate that compliment.
Yeah, absolutely. And so for those who are watching, thank you for watching Girl That Girls. And I am that cute. Sorry. I am that cutie Danny B. We have Zexion1337, Scarlet Zex, and yes, we have Zex. We have Bree or Bree Saint Marie, and our amazing guest Victoria. Thank you again, and we will. If you're a member of the Patreon, we'll see you in the after hours. If not, this is where we're gonna leave you, and talk to everybody then. So, bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody.
Yeah. Yeah, just did that shit on purpose. Oh my god. Yeah, you're starting to sound Canadian too.
This has been a production of Girl Dad Girls Podcast. Check out new episodes every Thursday. If you are interested in knowing more, please email info@girldadgirls.com or find us on Instagram @girldadgirls. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.